finally, IRCC have actually given more clarifications as to when the restrictions on the spousal open work permit is going to start. You remember back on January 22nd, 2024, IRCC came up, with the way to control immigration and to reduce, the number of international study permit and all that. They mentioned that there's going to be restriction in the spousal open work permit that will be given to certain applicants. And they actually mentioned that is going to start in the coming week. So we've all been looking at when is this coming week going to start. So they actually released a news. I'm just actually with my phone now just to make sure that I have the right information. Now, they gave 3 different categories. Okay, number 1, if you are applying for spousal open work permit on or after March 19th, 2024, okay? The second group of people, if you are applying for spousal open work permit, or if you applied for spousal open work permit before. And the third one is going to be if your spouse, they already on study permit and you're already in Canada and you want to extend your spousal open work permit. So they kind of gave a lot of information on those 3 categories. So I'll go over them one after the other, and as usual, I'll give my recommendations and kind of my advice to kind of think what are some of the things you can do in this regard. So what they've said is that if you want to apply for study permit on or after March 19th, 2024, you will only be eligible for spousal open work permit if your spouse, they've already gotten study permit or they are applying for, study permit, because you can always, apply with them if you meet the criteria. Now, what they've said is that if you are doing master's or PhD, okay, if you're going for master's or PhD, you will be able to bring a spouse. If you're already doing master's or PhD, you can still bring your spouse. And then they also mentioned, apart from master's and PhD, initially they just mentioned professional programs like medicine, law. They don't really give more clarity on that before now, but they've mentioned what are the specific professional courses that when you do, you can still bring a spouse. And the first one is going to be Doctor of Dental Surgery, right? As a pretty big course. And then the other one is if you are doing the Bachelor's of Law or Juris Doctor, okay, you can be able to bring a spouse. Now, this Doctor of Dental Surgery, I know it's a very competitive course. Yes, as an international student, you can apply for it, but the tuition is over the roof. I was checking that of the University of Alberta a few days ago, and the tuition is crazy. But you can just check and see if it's something that's affordable for you. If you are doing the Doctor of Medicine program, which is the MD program, you'll be able to bring a spouse. Doctor of Optometry, OD, you'll be able to bring a spouse. Pharmacy, right? Doctor of Pharmacy, Bachelor of Science, and BPharm, you'll be able to bring a spouse. If you are doing the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, DVM, you'll be able to bring a spouse. Bachelors of Science in Nursing. Now, this is really good because they did not actually include or mention nursing in the circular that they released before. So if you're doing nursing, you're planning to apply. If you have admission for nursing, you will be able to bring your spouse. And then another one is the Bachelor's of Education, which is the B.Ed. So if you're doing that, irrespective of the specialization that they are doing in that Bachelor of Education, you will be able to bring your spouse. The other one is going to be Bachelor's of Engineering. Like I said, they didn't mention this engineering before now, but from what they've mentioned, if you're doing Bachelor's of Engineering, whether the BASC, Bachelor's of Science, or the BENG, the BE, you will be able to bring your spouse, okay? And they've mentioned there are certain things that your spouse need to have in order for you to be able to apply for the spousal open work permit. Number one, you need to have your spouse need to have a valid assistance letter from this elected learning institution, and then they also need to show a proof of enrollment, okay, from your DLI. I mean, if you are applying, if you are a new applicant, you may not have enrollment letter as of the time you apply. So this is going to be particular to those that are already in Canada, okay, and they can get a letter of enrollment. So you don't need to worry about letter of enrollment if you just got admission and go to Canada for the first time. And then you need to show proof of relationship with your spouse, of course, marriage certificate for the most part. That is the first thing, okay? Now, the second one is that if you applied, for spousal upward permit before March 19th, 2024, which means for those, I was kind of thinking about it. So which means for those that maybe they got their attestation letter early, sometime early March, for those in Alberta, Manitoba, British Columbia, and you applied with your spouse, okay? Now this is after they've made the news. So they also give kind of recommendation, maybe this will determine if you approve those study permits, that especially those that applied maybe from say early March till now, because those that already have master's PhD application, they are good, okay? Now, what they've mentioned is that number one, you need to have a valid study permit. So which means if you already got a study permit and your spouse applied, and maybe you are already in your home country and your spouse is applied to accompany you on a work permit, if you do that, you'll find number one. And then secondly, you are eligible for a post-graduation work permit. So which means if you have a study permit from a private college, and of course, your spouse won't be applied if you are coming from a private college, but just make sure that the program that you are doing, your spouse is eligible for the post-graduation work permit, okay? The other one is that you are a full-time student in one of these following schools, either in a post-secondary, public school, college, or university, a college in Quebec, a private school, a private college level program in Quebec, and then Canada private schools that are legally awarded degrees under the provincial law. So if you're any of these, okay, so which means for those that are attending private partner colleges, okay, if you applied for spousal upward permit before now, you are still okay. Okay, you are still okay. All right. That's going to be the second one. So just to reiterate and make sure you understand what I'm saying, if you already have a study permit before now and have applied for your spouse to accompany you, so that both of you can come together, if you're attending a post-secondary education, the school you apply for is eligible for work permit, you have a valid study permit, and you're attending either it's private college and public college and all that is licensed, of course, you will be eligible. Now, the third part is going to be those that are extending the spousal upward permit. So this actually applies to those that are already in Canada, okay? So it's almost similar, okay? What they've mentioned is that you will be able to extend your study permit, your spousal permit. I mean, if number one, you have a valid study permit, of course, when you're in Canada, you should have a valid study permit. And secondly, you are eligible for a post-graduation work permit, you're still good. And then you are a full-time student in any of the publics, post-secondary education, so that's college or university, or a CGEP in Quebec, private level, college level program in Quebec, a Canadian private school that can legally award degrees under the provincial law. So which means if you are in private partner college, you're currently studying, you will be able to extend your, maybe your spouse is there, your study permit is about to expire. Don't be scared, you will still be eligible to extend your spousal upward permit for your spouse, okay? And then one of the things they said is that if they are not eligible for these upward permits, they may be eligible to get any other type of work permit. And now they've mentioned that if you don't qualify for the spousal open work permit, you can be eligible for other types of work permit. This is particularly tough. Maybe your spouse is studying in Canada, and for some reason you are able to get a job offer in Canada, you will still be eligible to apply for a closed work permit. Okay. Another thing can be if let's say your spouse is studying in Canada at the college, and you already have a master's in your home country, and maybe you don't want to come for a PhD and you want to apply for a postdoc, you will still be able to come with that closed work permit to Canada. Okay. Now, I know this is a very tough and a moment for a lot of people that are actually applying for college programs in Canada. So one of the things I would usually recommend is, of course, they is a country, right? And they have the right to do whatever they feel is best for the economy. Okay. So I would say if you're interested, maybe it's still interested in family, at least one person can come, right? One person can come. And then when that particular person is able to get their permanent, or when they apply for their permanent residency, then they will be able to include, other family members in the application. Okay. Then the second option is going to be one spouse can go for a study permit. And then this is something novel. I don't know how it's going to work, but when you're applying for a study permit, you can also apply for a visiting visa for your spouse. Maybe you can say, they want to, maybe help you settle down in Canada, or maybe with your children and all that, and then they can go back. Now they already have the visiting visa. Of course, that in Canada, it's a legal thing that when you are on the visitor's visa, if you are able to get a job offer from a Canadian employer, you can actually apply for a work permit. This is not something, there is nothing to hide about this. So it's not something that is like an inner thing. It's not something that is legal. Right? That's kind of what I do on this channel, to tell whenever I say something that is, on the IRCC website. Okay. I know this is tough, but these are some of the things that you can do. And maybe you can try to find a job in Canada and come on the work permit, which is really, really tough. That's some of the suggestions I have for you now. I want to leave in the comment section, how do you feel about this news? Right? I know it's tough, it's devastating for some people. If you can just share your own, your thoughts or in the comment section, I really appreciate that. And also let me know if you if you initially plan to apply alone, or if you plan to apply with your family. And also just let me know what you've decided to do. If you're going to take the risk to apply alone, also put it in the comment section, okay? And then if you want to try to get a job in Canada, put it in the comment section. If you want to try to get a visiting visa and come with a family, and then maybe, and then go back and all that, put it in the comment section. And then also let me know which particular country you are committed from. I want to see which country have the highest, people on this channel. Just put all of that in the comment section. And then if there is a specific topic you want me to talk about, ask the question in the comment section. I will look at the comments, one after the other, and then I try to address that. And if you're still confused, you don't know what to do, I do have a special one-on-one mentorship program. So there's going to be a link in the description. Just check out my website, reach out to me, and I will be able to, provide one or two guides to you on how to go about this whole process. And I wish you all the best. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do it to hit that subscribe button so whenever new videos are released, you will definitely be the first person to get notified of my videos. And also, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? I think you'll find useful content from this channel. It's going to be the best option if you can subscribe, so that you can start growing the subscriber count. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.